My name is Francisco, but growing up, everyone called me Pancho or Panchito. As a boy, I lived in a small village in Mexico, El Rancho Blanco. It was nestled on barren, dry hills several miles north of Guadalajara.
Panchito was only a little boy when I told my family about my dream to reach La Frontera. Van a ver in La Frontera. Everything will be different.
When Papa told me that someday we would take a long trip north to cross La Frontera.
Once we're in California, we'll never be poor again. Ándale, aquí empacar las maletas. We're going to make a long trip norte, across La Frontera to California. Panchito was full of curiosity, with so many new things he had never seen or heard before. It was a great adventure for him.
Fruit-flavored water!
Pelotas, perricos, posas!
They sold soccer balls and parakeets and purses of all colors and sizes.
But its true life is better there.
God willing, mijo. I hope so. Oh, si Dios quiere.
He pointed across an open field. When I looked, I couldn't believe that La Frontera was no more than a gray wire fence where there were armed immigration guards on both sides dressed in green.
La migra.
For several miles away from the town, it was dark and I could hear strange sounds in the dark. But Papa led the way to a small area where the fence was pulled loose, and that was where we crossed La Frontera.
A few days later, I contacted a woman in Mexicali who would pick us up and drive us to a place where we would find work.
I get lots of these immigrants work. Up in California, there are tons of farm camps. You'll find work right away. These farmers grow vegetables and fruit so fast you don't even have to pick the stuff. It almost falls in the basket for you.
All of it was hard work. The mornings were always cold and foggy, and by the time the sun came up, it was so hot the mud dried in a matter of hours.
The farm worker labor camp with campesinos living in rows of tents outside of Santa Maria. It was on Main Street about 10 miles outside the center of town.
I have a cousin that moved there.
It was so good having someone my own age to talk to about the places we grew up.
Actually, I was 2 years older than Pancho. He was just a kid, but he liked to play games. And I liked that.
Every day, Miguelito and I would go out and find new things to play.
We have a whole day to do nothing else but play.
You mean we can play
All day long!
Here come Los Gigantes. Beware, little people of the village. Run for your lives or you'll be squished like ants.
My little brother warned you, little people. Now face your doom and frenta tu destino. Yeah! Yeah! As he slipped, his whole body turned around and his foot landed right in the middle of the puddle.
Oh no!
He tried to catch his balance, but his hand slipped in the mud, landing him face down and splashing muddy water all over his clean overalls.
And all over Miguelito.
What? Hey, Miss Scalapino, this is Francisco. He'll be in your class this term.
Thank you, Mr. Sims. And welcome, Francisco. I'm certain Francisco will be just fine in here. Won't you, Francisco?
You'll be just fine, Francisco.
But I wanted to know the English word for them. I was sure the answers were in the sentences written underneath each picture. I tried to figure them out by looking at the pictures. I did this so many times that I could close my eyes and see the words, but I could not understand what they meant. My name is Francisco. Growing up, everyone called me Pancho. As a boy, I lived in a small town in California named Santa Maria. It was nestled on the west coast a few miles east of Guadalupe. I have a lot of wonderful memories of living in Santa Maria. The things I liked doing most was learning English, making friends, and my teachers.
Miss Scalapino, I'm sorry to interrupt your lesson, but an agent from the immigration department is here. They have been authorized to remove Francisco from our school. It seems his family is being deported back to Mexico.
And it was only the beginning.